David Cunliffe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, to the Prime Minister. Has Judith Collins failed to meet the high standards he expects from ministers, and if so, how?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, no. Over the almost 6 years Judith Collins has been a minister, she's made a significant contribution to the government and the people of New Zealand, the portfolios that she's held. The House will be aware that in her recent actions with respect to Oravita, she put herself in a situation where a perception of a conflict of interest has arisen. The minister accepts this and she's apologised.
Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary question, Honourable David Cunliffe.
Does the Prime Minister remember giving Judith Collins a final warning about misleading by omission? And if so, on what basis did he give that final warning?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, it was in relation to the Oravita situation. I said if there was other particular information. I haven't seen any particular information to come out, though I am waiting for the secret donors of David Cunliffe to come out.
Speaker.
Order.
Speaker.
Order. Supplementary question, Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, does the Prime Minister consider that Judith Collins misled the media with her comments about TV1 journalist Katie Bradford? And if so, why is she still a minister?
Well, Mr. Speaker, if the member's trying to relate that to the other issue, as I said, that was in relation to Oravita. In relation to the comments that the Minister made about Katie Bradford, she's apologised for that. She herself has admitted that she overreached.
Mr. Speaker.
Order. Supplementary question, Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, was the Prime Minister's Cabinet Office aware of all the MFAT advice and briefings relating to Judith Collins and Oravita when they provided him with advice on her conflict of interest?
Right Honourable
Mr.
Prime
Speaker,
Minister.
I'm confident that they're aware of all the pertinent information on the advice that they relayed to me.
Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary question, Honourable David Cunliffe.
When, therefore, did he first become aware of the official MFAT briefings which said Judith Collins appeared at Oravita in China, quote, to increase the profile of a successful importer and distributor of New Zealand products into China, i.e. an official and not a private function?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, I don't have those details with me, but I'm happy if the member wants to ask me in writing to have that. But, Mr. Speaker, what is actually quite interesting, though, of the documents that the member is reading from is, in fact, that laced all the way through those are not only the very busy schedule that the Minister had in relation to the Justice portfolio, but also, Mr. Speaker, it was quite clear that this was a private dinner that was all the way through the emails long before this issue ever came into the public domain. But, Mr. Speaker, the one thing I do know is that lifting the profile of companies is very important, and Shane Jones believes in that. The Labor Party don't.
Order. Supplementary question, Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, why is the Prime Minister holding this Minister, the Minister of Justice and a trained lawyer, to a lower standard than he has held the Honourable Maurice Williamson, when that Minister, amongst other things, has publicly countermanded his decision about Mr. Williamson?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
I'm not. Mr. Speaker, I'm not. I think it would be quite clear to everyone. In the case of Mr. Williamson, he breached 4.14 of the Cabinet Manual. As I said, in relation to Ms. Collins, she had a particular issue where accumulation of events could have led to a perception conflict of interest. But let's be honest about this. If you make a mistake means you're gone, that leader should have been gone a hell of a long time ago, because he got a long...
Order. When I rise to my feet, the Prime Minister should resume his seat. Order!
Speaker.
Order! 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 It would be a shame if some ministers had to leave the House so early in this new session. Supplementary question, Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, why then was the Prime Minister willing to sack Maurice Williamson, Phil Heatley, Peter Dunn and John Banks, but not Judith Collins? What is it about the Minister of Justice that he won't touch? Is it her fundraising ability, or is it her influence in the caucus?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, one thing that the member might want to learn if he wants to be an efficient leader is actually every case is considered on a case-by-case basis. This government has actually set high standards, and yes, where ministers haven't met the standards, they've gone. But then again, when he doesn't meet the standards, people go as well. It's called Shane Jones. He's gone from Labour because he knows...
Order. Supplementary question, Honourable David Cunliffe.
In light of that answer, can the Prime Minister tell the House why he has said that the rules of the Cabinet Manual have now become guidelines?
Well, actually,
Right,
to be
Honourable Prime Minister.
to be honest, I was paraphrasing Helen Clark.
Order. 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 Question number 4, Jonathan Young. Order. I've called Jonathan Young.
Thank you. My question is to the Minister for Economic Development.